Yes, I'm going to talk this evening briefly about the virtue of disloyalty.
Okay.
A phrase coined by Graeme Green. And when did you last see your father? Some of you may know this picture by Yeames, a Victorian painter. The boy, honest and truthful. Does he tell the truth to the Puritan judge and therefore betray his father, or does he lie? Graeme Green, brought up in Hertfordshire, went to the school, Berkhamsted. His father, the head teacher, and yet he was surrounded by bullies, by other pupils. Whose side was he on? The side of the students or the side of the head? His father, very distant, emotionally distant. Not unlike, perhaps, the father of Robert Louis Stevenson, with whom Green is related. Could he live up to his father? But perhaps his father wasn't perfect. Perhaps he was a fallen idol in some ways. Green had lots of brothers who were very competent, not least Hugh Green, who became BBC Director of the BBC, Director General. Betrayal is a recurrent theme in Green's novels. In an essay, The Lost Childhood, he says that a child, after all, knows all of the game of betrayal. It is only the attitude that he lacks. What do we expect from loyalty? Is this what we expect from a loyal friend? Or do we expect something much more subtle, much more genuine than an unthinking loyalty? But Green was very disloyal, both in his private life and in the lives of his characters. And so is disloyalty the same as betrayal? And the mark of adultery, of which Green was very much an adulterer. At one time he had to say something to his wife and his mistress in order to be with yet another woman. And he knew that he was weak. He knew he had this complexity about his nature. And Green is nothing if not a very complex person. And his life was dangerous, both in his personal relationships and also in his travel abroad. He went to many dangerous places. The theme of betrayal, as I say, is a constant theme. And this was true of Green in his youth. He had to learn whose side he was on, if indeed he was on any side. He, at a talk in Hamburg once, he talked about Shakespeare. He would have been a better man, if not a better poet, if he had perhaps been in less thrall to the state. So perhaps the artist's ultimate allegiance is to his art, or her art, and not to a particular country. But how far can you take betrayal? Do you take it as far as Kim Philby, with whom Green was in correspondence, and for whom Green wrote a foreword to Philby's biography? He learnt betrayal early, in a children's book by Marjorie Bowen, The Viper of Milan. But even there, treachery does not pay, because the hero resorts to treachery. In Treasure Island, a book that many of you may have read, that the boy hero betrays. He's between Long John, an engaging person on the one hand, Squire Trelawney on the other, Dr. Livesey. Betrayal again in The Power of Midlothian, the Judas figure. A priest who believes he has betrayed his faith and vocation is betrayed by someone for money. Blank screen. Is that it?
Nope.
Right, yes. And so human nature for Green is not black and white, it's black and grey. And we can look at ourselves. Where is the whiteness of our own integrity? I sometimes wonder where mine is. The quiet American, a man steps aside from neutrality. Is it because of the woman that he loves, or is it because of his political ideals? And similarly in the honorary consul, which is just gone. Oh no, the honorary consul, I beg your pardon. Again, we have an instance where the father figure is important for Green. A man betrays his father in his youth, but there again goes to saves another man for whom is a father figure. Is there a commonality between Nietzsche and Green? If you substitute weakness for disloyalty, perhaps there is. Perhaps there is something worthwhile in disloyalty, whereby it stretches us beyond our narrow horizons of what is right and wrong. And perhaps all our values are ultimately flawed, chosen for self-preservation and survival rather than just for consistency. Doesn't the time go quick when you're at it?